Hey. Thank you for joining us as we continue exposing the elite papal bloodlines, never before documented or researched to this extent. You can read more details in our document The Bloodlines. We will discuss today the Orsini family. As the other papal families, the Orsinis are popes, dukes, counts and of course, knights of Malta. Just like the others, they are Jesuits, members of the Society of Jesus, also known as the Synagogue of Satan. They created the mafia and control it to this day. They are the puppet masters of our governments and religions, hiding in the shadows. The Orsini family motto is Senza rimproveri, which means without reproach. The name Orsini means bear. Their family crest is a white shield with a two-dollar red rose and 3 diagonal red stripes. The specific rose has a meaning, so we will explain. The two-dollar rose, also called Union Rose, is a secret symbol of the mystics and cultists. It was made popular by the War of the Roses in Britain. You can look it up easily and find out more. But this symbol has a twofold meaning. There is sometimes a double rose, one white inside, one red, representing the two orders, inner and outer. The white rose is on a pentagram, and represents the silver star, SS outer order. The red rose, which is on an upside-down pentagram, represents the inner order of the Knights Companions of the Order of the Garter, the Knights of Rhodes and Malta, the companions of 300 Knights of the Order of the Round Table. They were known as the Maximus family in ancient Rome. You can easily find them, even in school books. No one ever looks deep enough to make connections. So easy to keep the masses completely blind to reality. We will start in the region of Orsini, an area in the province of Viterbo, same as the Farnese. Pope Saint Alexander I around 112 created the title Cagio. The title Cagio was suppressed by Pope Saint Gregory I the Great in 600. But before it was, we see the first Orsini we come across is Cagio Orso Orsini around 499 in the Roman Synod. We have detailed the families back much further than this in our document. Cagio's great-grandson Ariberto was the earliest family member in the Knights of Malta that we know of. If we jump forward to Cagio's grave to the 8th grandson, we see he is also named Orso di Orsini, born around 938. The name Orso is used instead of Orsini in this line as well. Pietro Orsini worked in the church and signed papal bulls until he died in around 1073. In 1106, Giacomo Boboni, also called Pope Celestine III, was born of the Orsini family. A few used Boboni instead of Orsini as their last name during this time. His brother, Pietro Orsini, was a cardinal priest. He confirmed the Teutonic Knights crowned Roman Emperor Henry VI, and excommunicated him later. He excommunicated Alfonso IX of Leon and wanted to resign, but was denied by the cardinals. Other popes from the Orsini line, Nicholas III in 1277 and Benedict VIII in 1724. There are numerous cardinals from this family naturally. All three of these popes made many of their family members cardinals upon entering the Vatican. It is all in the family. Nicholas III's brother, Napoleon Orsini Frangipani, was a cardinal as well as part of the conclave for 6 years. He died in 1342 and his successor was Rinaldo Orsini until 1374. Romano Orsini, Signore Pitigliano and Vicar of Rome, was born to Gentile II Orsini. In 1270, he married Anastasia de Montfort, Countess of Nola, and they had 7 children. Suiva Balso married Romano's grandson, Count Roberto Orsini, in 1330. Their son, Count Raimondo Orsini Balso, the Prince of Taranto, married the Countess Maria de Vingian, which expanded the family's wealth and land. Raimondo became the most powerful lord in southern Italy by the time he died in a siege in 1406. Because he helped Pope Urban VI, the Count was given license to build a convent, hospital and a church. His son, Giovanni Antonio Orsini Balso, married Pope Martino V's daughter, and was Prince of Turin 1414. He was assassinated in 1463 and all he owned was returned to the Vatican. Raimondo had a brother, Niccolo Orsini, also called Niccolo Ursins, was the Count of Nola and died in 1399. We see one of the few name altars here. Ursins is the name of another one of their founded territories located in France. Remember, the last names are markers of where they came from long ago, like their symbols and colors. That is how we can follow them. The names change frequently, and as you all know, royalty and the like always have a multitude of names and titles they go by. When given 10 names at birth, one can easily interchange them without easily being linked to others. Let's take a look at Ursins, also called Orsini, for a moment. Remember Candio Orso di Orsini, part of the Synod? Well, we will go into the Orsini background and find they've had a violent feud with the Colonna family, which went on for quite a while and only ended because of a papal bull ordering them to make peace and for each heir on each side to marry one of the Pope's daughters. So it is after the feud we see their name change to Orsini from Orsini. And you thought Francis Bacon, who you call Shakespeare, wrote Romeo and Juliet from his imagination. There is nothing new. But let someone call it a story, and how quickly we believe. More is true and alive and well than you will allow yourself to believe. The Orsini tribe, named after its leader, Ursus, entered Rome from across the Rhine. No, we are not talking about the Orsini who were found in one of the galaxies explored by the Destiny expedition in Stargate. But names always come from somewhere. The Orsini landed in Rome and became equally as powerful as the nobles of the time. Due to their force and numbers, they were a staple family in the Senate of Rome from the time they arrived. They had a constant feud with the jealous Colonna family, which after a couple hundred years was ordered to stop by papal bull. The heir from each family had to marry one of the Pope's daughters. Once the feud was over, Colonna used the name bloodlines and the party of the empire. The Orsini adopted the title of Guelphs and also used the name Gaetani, and their cause was the church. The eagle and the keys were used in their family crests, which we see today. The families continued to hate each other for centuries, and they viciously battled and quarreled, but no one on either side was killed, until the champion of Orsini was ambushed and murdered by young Stephen Colonna. Even though he violated the truce, he was still placed in the Senate for 5 years. We see the lack of justice for the elite was evident even then, as it is today. The noble families, which included the Colonna and Orsini, were sworn under oath into a secret group of Roman Knights of Malta of that time. They swore to live and die with the Republic and the Church. The families went on fighting over everything. Some things were allegedly stolen from the Colonna, and the Orsini were ordered to pay them back for it all. Peter Agapet Colonna was arrested for 2 crimes, and the case was settled by executing Martin Orsini. However, we cannot overlook the fact that Martin Orsini was a very violent person. He was known for numerous acts of violence, raping, and theft. He was pulled from his bed, dragged through the street, stripped naked, then told what he was charged with and what the sentence was, and promptly hung on the gallows. The families went on like this for generations, fighting back and forth, burning each other, raping each other, pillaging and plundering, until finally the public, the people, were sick of their destruction. In a report about the families it states, "The nobles in arms trembled in the presence of an unarmed multitude. Wonder if they will ever say that again, if there would ever be a multitude against them today." Do you know what happened then? The Colonna and Orsini fled to the safety of their precious Senate like the cowards they all are. It was quickly invaded by the citizens, and the Colonnas escaped through a window while the crowd stoned Orsini to death at the perfect location, the altar. After this, they changed the name to Orsini and relocated to the province of Viterbo. Orso Rinaldo Orsini, Signor of Montero Tondo, died 1424. He and his wife, Lucrezia Aldo Brandino Conti, a papal elite, had a son Giacomo Orsini. Signor of Monterotondo. Giacomo married his cousin, Maddalena Orsini, and they had Clarice Orsini, who died in 1488. Clarice Orsini married Lorenzo Medici, another papal elite, who ruled the Florentine Republic. 3 of their 10 children died and one son became Pope Leo X. There was a plot to have the family killed, and Clarice and the children were sent away. One of their sons was murdered before they left, and Clarice visited Rome years later, until she died. Her husband stayed apart from her since he was in love with someone else before they were married. He was not with her when she was dying, and he did not attend her funeral. Although many of the elite's lives are so tragic, we can pity no one who knows what they are involved in, knows the truth, and does nothing about it. Instead of breaking from the family, she allowed herself, like so many others, to be used as a breeding vessel, lived a life of solitude, and because of her tolerance and acceptance, allowed the bloodline to continue. Not only do these bloodlines have a hard time keeping their children alive due to the blood disorders, they are Luciferians. Therefore they perform rituals. Many of them require children. One of their children, Giuliano Lorenzo Medici, was Duke of Nemours, which became Florence. One of their daughters, Lucrezia Maria Romola Medici, married Jacopo Salviati in 1486 and had 10 children, including Cardinal Giovanni Salviati, Cardinal Bernardo Salviati, Maria Salviati, mother of Cosimo I Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany, and Francesca Salviati, mother of Pope Leo XI, another daughter of Clarice Orsini. Countess Antonia Romola Medici married Piero Ridolfi in 1494 and had 5 children, including Cardinal Niccolo Ridolfi. Cardinal Niccolo Ridolfi was elected Archbishop of Florence on January 11, 1524 by Pope Clement VII. He was Archbishop until 1532. He was also administrator of Vicenza, Forli, Viterbo, Salerno, and Imola. He was a hostage of Hugo of Moncada with other cardinals during the sack of Rome in 1527. He was also on the conclave and a deacon of Santa Maria in Violato as he became cardinal protodeacon. He was a member of a special commission of 11 cardinals for reform of the Roman Curia, which is basically a board of directors for the Pope. On January 8, 1543 he was named Archbishop of Florence for second time. He died in 1550. In 1541 we find the birth of Paolo Giordano Orsini, who became first Duke of Bracciano. His grandparents are Felice della Rovere, an illegitimate daughter of Pope Julius II, who married Gian Giordano Orsini, and the Count Bosio Sforza, who married Costanza Farnese, an illegitimate daughter of Pope Paul III. By now you should see how intertwined these families are, and how they all are involved in the Vatican. One nice thing about being involved in the Roman Synod is that you are given a new name. This makes it difficult to keep track of who is who, as you have to keep in mind their different names, multiple spellings, and variations. Paolo Orsini married Isabella Medici, whom he did not like and never lived with. She died unexpectedly on a hunting trip. So the story goes, while she was washing her hair in the morning, she was found by Paolo Giordano on her knees, having immediately fallen dead. However, it was not believed, since Paolo strangled her to death. Midday, in the company of several servants and onlookers, he carried on his lifelong affair with his cousin, Troilo Orsini. Much easier after that. Isabella's sister had also had a deadly accident while taking a bath just days before. This is extremely common. Women drop like flies. Paolo soon started a relationship with Vittoria Carambani, wife of the nephew of Pope Sixtus V. Vittoria's husband was assassinated. In 1581, Paolo and his mistress fled to northern Italy as they were wanted by the Pope and the police. They married on the 20th of April 1585 and he died on November 13th that same year. On December 22nd, Vittoria was assassinated by Ludovico Orsini. The circle was complete. Such waste of life. They live and die like the animals they allow themselves to become. Pointless. Paolo and Isabella's son, Virginio Orsini, had been born in 1572 and became the second Duke of Bracciano. As a member of the Orsini family, he was a Knight of the Order of the Golden Fleece. As is every other Orsini we have mentioned. He married Flavia Peretti, who was related to the murdered husband of Victoria. They had 11 children, including Paolo Giordano, who became a prince of the Holy Roman Empire. Shakespeare's play, Twelfth Night, opens with the character of Duke Orsino saying, "If music be the food of love." Play O.M. Orsini died in Rome in 1615. Although his son Paolo had no children, his other son, Ferdinando Orsini III, Duke of Bracciano, produced a son, Flavio Orsini IV, Duke of Bracciano, with his wife, Giustiniana Orsini. Flavio, born in Lazio, Italy in 1620, became a cardinal as well and died in 1698 childless. If we move our gaze to Turkey, where a strand of the bloodline is as well, we find Thomas Orsini, who served as an Archbishop of Antivari in 1598. He was part of the Franciscan order of Jesuit and made a Franciscan monastery. In 1650 we come to another pope, Pietro Francesco Orsini, also called Vincenzo Maria Orsini. Pope Benedict XIII and Benedictus XIII, son of Ferdinando III Orsini, Duke of Gravina, he became the Bishop of Manfredonia, Bishop of Cesena, and then Archbishop of Benevento. His lifelong friend was mystic Serafina di Dio, which means seraphim, which is an angel of God, whose real name was Prudentia Pisa, which he canonized after she died. Orsini was a member of the Dominican order, a Jacobin elite Jesuit order. The order was created for one purpose: to defeat heretics. Remember, that is all who spread the truth. He enjoyed making huge displays during masses, which created a disturbance. During his time as pope, he canonized and sainted a multitude of people. He expanded the church by elevating 29 cardinals and consecrated over 100 bishops. He passed a papal bull which encouraged all in the Dominican order to gather members and train them, after several denied attempts to turn him into a saint. Since his death in 1730, it is being decided now if he will be a saint or not. One of the family's monstrosities, the Palazzo Orsini, also called Teatro de Marsilio in Rome, was put up for sale a few years ago. They were selling it for £26 million. It was built in 13 BC and is what the Colosseum was fashioned after, just as we saw with the Farnese family pentagram castle, which is what the American Pentagon is formed after. They always use the same symbols, signs. They cannot create new. They can only repeat and copy and distort. The painting The Battle of Anghiari, by Leonardo da Vinci, includes two knights, Lodovico Trevisan and Giovanni Orsini. Like most paintings, they include the real people of the time. That fact should make art just a bit more interesting to some of you. The paintings before 100 years ago are either symbolic of a person's ideas, feelings, or life, or they are actual events depicted. They are not simply made-up blobs of paint. That is what we now call modern, the artless generation of today. Art is the unspoken story, especially in these families' art, which is all we are allowed to see in art museums. In history, what we are allowed to see is controlled. The items in paintings, the people and the positions they are in paintings, the colors of paintings, they mean things. This is how the occult mind works, and these are the families of occult. The statues we see decorating the government buildings in most countries, and especially those in Rome, are statues of people from these families. Do not be deceived because they tell you it is Lady Liberty or Hercules. As we discussed briefly about the Farnese family, Hercules and Athena are from their bloodline. The original statues of them are still owned by that family today. So unlearn what you have been told. Learn truth. Another main vein of this bloodline we can find with François Marie Orsini, born in 1638 in Corsica. France. His son Ferdinand was born 1709. His grandson, Xavier Orsini, had 14 children with his wives Magdalene Benigni and Angela Catherine Madet. Born in 1773, he was a seaman until 1829 when he died. Xavier's grandson, Dominique Orsini, born February 13, 1847, married Philomena Matet and had 10 children including Pipette Dominique. January 14, 1858 brings a bit of good old family fun into the spotlight. Once again, Felice Orsini decided that the French ruler, Louis Napoleon, was in the way of his revolution and tossed a bomb into the dictator's carriage. He apparently did this in order to unify Italy. Abraham Lincoln had this to say about him: "He is an enthusiast who broods over the oppression of a people till he fancies himself commissioned by heaven to liberate them. He ventures the attempt, which ends in little else than his own execution. After being executed 2 months later, he is yet another piece of proof that these unorganized, fanatical tactics do not accomplish anything at all. For anything to change, we must work together in a plan." Around this time, we see the Jesuits gain full control in America after trying for 95 years. Though they founded it, they were known in those days and unable to get into power, so they waited. Thomas Jefferson, a Freemason who was very cautious of the elite Jesuits, copied much of the Declaration of Independence from the Mecklenburg Declaration, which kept them on a leash. Americans really were free and independent for a moment. In 1871, the original Constitution for the United States of America was changed to the Constitution of the United States of America, which was written by the Jesuit Roman Catholic Pope after a financial deal to help the struggling economy. This is also when the Vatican created their third city-state, Washington, D.C. Felice Orsini had 2 sisters, Philippa Maria and Irina. Philippa Maria Orsini married Francesco Giovanacci and had 9 children, several who were in the military. She died in Massachusetts in 1920. Philippa Maria's sister, Irina Orsini, married Gaetano Priscilla and they had 3 children. She died 1 year after her sister, also in Massachusetts. There are selected areas the elite live in Massachusetts, like all New England states, is under very strict control of the elite bloodlines. These bloodlines are the Italian mafia, the Roman Catholic soldiers who settled there from Italy. Evidence of the Jesuit control of the northeastern region of America is overwhelming. Today it's easy to find the Orsini name in many of the politicians and Hollywood stars in America. The elite Zoroastrian, Jesuit, Luciferian families are of course so large they are easily able to take over entire areas of our lives. The Italian main strain of the bloodline attempts to continue to hide in the shadows of the Vatican as Knights of Malta and other Jesuit leaders. Ron, also called Roy Orsini, was murdered by his wife Mary Lee Hatcher in 1982. She also conspired a very detailed plan to murder another. The media went crazy over the news and it became one of the most sensational murders of Arkansas history. Mary Lee confessed weeks before she died of a heart attack in 2003. Today some Orsinists are: Alessandro Orsini, born April 14, 1975, and is the director of the Observatory on International Security at the University Luis Guido Carli of Rome. He teaches sociology of terrorism for the Department of Political Science and director of the site Sicurezza Internazionale. During his time at MIT, his focus was on the psychology of Islamic terrorism and continues today, and have contributed to his books. He is a member of the Committee for the Study of Jihadism, which was set up by the Italian Prime Minister, a member of the editorial board of the academic journal called Studies in Conflict and Terrorism, and a former member of the Radicalization Awareness Network created by the EU Commission. Like a good elitist, Orsini speaks at the places one would expect, such as Harvard, MIT, Johns Hopkins, Boston College, Brookings Institution, Trinity College and other Jesuit schools. Nicoletto Orsini and John Orsini are two others with this last name who work at the school as well. The school was founded by a few businessmen and bankers, including one of Forbes' wealthiest men in the world of 2003, Umberto Agnelli. He was a Knight Grand Cross and received 2 honorary awards from the order. You should be able to notice by now, this Jesuit college will only have selected teachers in it. Over in the USA, Brad Orsini, born 1963, the son of James Orsini. James was born in Italy, the grandson of Peter Orsini and Giulia Rizzi. Then Marine Lieutenant Orsini was married in a Roman Catholic church, naturally to Carolyn Carlin. Bradley is the director of Jewish Community Security under Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh. He is an ex-FBI agent. The Jewish community is working closely with the FBI to ensure their safety as a community thanks to Brad Orsini. However, when one looks into his background, we find in September 2001, Special Agent Bradley Walter Orsini was demoted and received a 30-day suspension without pay for a series of policy violations that occurred from 1993 through 2000. These included but are not limited to having an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate, making improper, vulgar and sexual comments, forging names and initials on chain of custody forms, evidence labels and interview forms. He threatened a subordinate with violence and improperly documented the seizure of a weapon and ammunition from a search. This is a small list, as we can see by not only his picture but his past. He is a meathead. He was awarded the Western Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Agency Director's Award for leading the FBI response to several false flag events, including the Franklin Regional High School stabbing and the Monroeville Mall shooting. He was also awarded the FBI Director Award for Excellence in Training and Professional Development. The Orsinis are into movies, fashion and of course other entertainment. One Italian Roman Catholic actress, Isabella Orsini, has been married to Belgian Prince Edward Line. They received personal congratulations from Pope Benedict XVI. Their children are Princess Alabama Orsini and Princess Athenai Line. Isabella is daughter of Lolita Rossi, a member of the order, and Jesuit, Mario Orsini, and the goddaughter of Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Her brother is David Andrea Orsini, who now owns a leather bag company. A few of the other actresses are Kate Orsini, sex kitten Valerie Orsini, and Marina Orsini, who was married to Canadian actor Serge Postigo for some time. When Marina was asked about her family, she responded, "My family makes me feel wealthy. That is the place where I feel at my best, secure, completely myself. It is an energy that feeds you. It is absolutely the best feeling in the world. There can be so much pressure with life, with work. Socially, you have to perform. Family provides a shelter from all of that pressure. I could never imagine being too far away from them. We cannot imagine being too far away from these families either. So we will continue watching them, and exposing them, one by one, so everyone can share the wealth." Alvise Orsini, an interior designer, and Price of Venice. Though it seems he tries to keep quiet the fact that he is a bloodline prince, he has no problem displaying this atrocity for all to see. We will also find, in the Orsini family today, the Grey Pope. The Grey Pope is always of the elite, papal, blood. The White Pope and Black Pope are just dons. Pope Francis and Adolfo Nicholas are nothing. Their blood has no value, just like their meaningless lives. They are only faces, and the one who controls them, their master, is Papa Orsini, the Grey Pope of the Jesuits, and the most powerful man in the world, backed by the elite papal families, of course. Henry Breakspear in Macau. China is next in line for succession. Jesuit Papa Orsini is also known as Orso and also goes by the family's ancient name Maximus. We wear the mask so we never forget what a Jesuit piece of shit looks like. We enjoy the constant reminder of our target. We never forget what our enemy is. We are an on-DK. We expose the synagogue of Satan. We are the light in the darkness. Jesuit families, expect us.